Rockets and Falcons. We'll get to the BG side of the battle of I-75 in a moment as we welcome in Michael Burwell from the Toledo Blade. And Michael, first off, a cathartic victory last week over Kent State.
Right, yeah. They were solid in every phase. Offense didn't really light it up, but extremely efficient. Quarterback Connor Bazelai completed 85% of his passes, 23 of 27 for over 300 yards. Terrion Stewart, first 100-yard rushing game since the season opener, which I feel is really big for him. Harold Fannin did Harold Fannin things, and but defensively, I felt is where they made the biggest noise. I mean, Kent State entered the game with almost 750 passing yards the previous two games. BG holds them to 78 on 7 of 29 passing, 3 interceptions in the fourth quarter, which is huge because that was more than BG's output for turnovers in the first 6 games. So not overly flashy, but it was just really solid and obviously a much-needed win for them.
One way Toledo might have a slight advantage going into Saturday's matchup. Falcons don't know which quarterback they got to prepare for, as both Tucker Gleason and John Allen Richter have seen playing time. Gleason did not play last week. Jason Candle, of course, isn't going to tip his hand there, but Scott Leffler says it doesn't necessarily make a difference because they got to prepare for a good quarterback either way.
Right, yeah, they're both solid quarterbacks, both present a lot of challenges, and that's basically what Leffler talked about. Obviously you're going to have to probably prepare for both, and they're going to do what they can. They're going to do what they can to be ready for it, and whoever lines up, they'll have some challenges and everything, but they're going to be probably try to be ready for both of them.
Falcons did a good job in pass defense against Kent State. We know the weapons the Rockets have, particularly with Jerwan Newton and company. So I think that's one area of this matchup where Bowling Green's going to have some momentum coming off of last week's win.
Yeah, for sure. The secondary played outstanding. The pass rush, defensive line made a bunch of huge plays. Some nice kind of delayed blitzes as well to put pressure on Kent State's quarterbacks. And BG's going to need that for sure against Toledo. Obviously Toledo has some really, really good weapons out wide. Kent State had some really good weapons out wide, a couple of the best receivers in the MAC, and BG really shut them down. I'll tell you what, BG's pass the run defense has had its struggles this year, but the pass defense has been outstanding. I think they only allow 161 yards per game, ranks 10th nationally, I think 2nd in the MAC. So the pass defense has been great, and it seems like the defense is just kind of slowly starting to click at the right time. Akron wasn't outstanding, but they did enough to win. NIU, obviously a great effort defensively, and then last week was really outstanding.
Rockets have been turnover prone, and against Kent State, BG started to get some takeaways again.
Yeah, fourth quarter was huge, just to eliminate any chance of a comeback. BG had 3 interceptions, just great plays, like tough catches along the sideline. And what's kind of interesting, BG had a couple injuries in the secondary. A couple younger guys had to step up. Edward Rambo, a sophomore, I think he transferred during the offseason. He had a pick. Tracy Revels at safety, a redshirt freshman, played every snap defensively and had a really solid game. And then you got those veteran guys like a Jordan Oladokun at cornerback, C.J. Brown as well. So that unit it's very talented. And they've been pretty solid all year, but I think these last few weeks, they've even started to get to another level too.
We know how experienced, how mature this Bowling Green team is. Many of these guys have played not just 1 or 2, but have played 3 Battle of I-75 games. Is that experience going to pay off then on Saturday?
I think without question. So many of these guys. You look at a guy like Brock Horn, linebacker. This is going to be the 5th time he's played in this game. So I think that's going to make a big difference as well. They're going to the Glass Bowl. It's going to be a great environment, obviously. But they just won there 2 years ago. They know how to win there. They know how to play in front of huge crowds. Just look at everywhere they've been the last couple years and how they've performed. Obviously like Penn State and Texas A&M. So, I think the crowd, it's going to be a factor. But for how well BG has played in kind of hostile environments, they're going to be ready for it, and they're going to be excited to play in it.
As you mentioned, Bowling Green won at the Glass Bowl in 2022. Last time BG won in Toledo, back-to-back meetings, 30 years ago, 92-94, statistic that blew Scott Leffler away earlier this week. We'll find out if the Falcons can repeat history or if we'll have another classic Battle of I-75. Either way, we're just glad that it's going to be a Saturday afternoon game.
Absolutely, yes.